Hi, it's me, the Aquarius for Fun. This right here is Rom. Rom is my betta fish. Rom here was advertised as a young male yellow candy half moon when I got him from a local breeder. And I don't know if you can tell, but he's no longer yellow. Okay, so Rom here has multiple tank mates from a Nano shrimps, an autosinkless, a bunch of cherry shrimps, and some guppy fries. Okay, so here's what I did in order to train my betta fish into accepting tank mates. Advice number 1, make sure you have a decently sized aquarium. My fish tank right here is made by Dennerley. I need a sponsor. The specific model is a Dennerley Nanoscapers tank. Okay, so the dimensions are 40 by 28 by 32 centimeters. Here's what it is in inches. Okay, so all in all, this is a 35-liter aquarium, maybe around 9 to 10 gallons. I personally think that this is the perfect size for a betta fish. What makes it the perfect size for a betta fish? Well, technically, if you want to go larger, you'll definitely need a larger or stronger filtration system. And we all know that a really strong flow isn't the best thing for your betta fish. Well, you can't really go any smaller than this because then you won't be able to keep any other species like Amano shrimps, autosyncluses, corridors, and especially cherry shrimps. Okay, so my advice number 2 is to plant densely. I know, you're already tired of hearing this, but it would really help if you plant densely. Okay, so how would it help? If you've planted a bunch of plants, then it means both your betta fish and any other species in the tank will have plenty of hiding spots. And initially, when you introduce new species or your betta fish into a specific tank, it would really help to provide hiding spaces from one another until they get acquainted to each other and they grow used to each other. My betta fish specifically likes to hide in this space, right under the Bucephalandrus and right underneath the leaves of my Blixa japonica right here. When introducing tank mates to a betta or introducing a betta into an established aquarium, every little bit helps. So provide hiding spots.
Here's Johnny!
Okay, so step number 3 or advice number 3 may not specifically apply to everybody. What I did was, when I was setting this tank out, I started with a bunch of cherry shrimps, Amano shrimps, and some autosyncluses. After a few weeks, once the tank has matured, I've introduced some guppy fries. And then once the guppy fries have established themselves, and then I introduced the betta fish. Wait, go back. Did you just say guppy fries? Well, yeah, you heard me correctly. I did say guppy fries. Why guppy fries, I hear you ask? Well, guppies, they can reproduce real quick. They're easy to get. They're kind of cheap. So, just in case you really have a cold-blooded murder for a betta fish, then you can keep your losses to a minimum. Now, personally, this is what really helped me with my betta fish. Small guppy fries are quick and nimble, and they can easily hide in your plants and hardscape. Okay, so here's what happened. On the first day, he did kinda actually chase them around, but on the next day, he just stopped chasing them. Maybe after realizing that he couldn't catch them, he then stopped. He then grew accustomed to sharing the tank space with a bunch of cherry shrimps, an Amano shrimp, and the untouchable autosynclus. At this specific point in time, I can see a bunch of small shrimplets or shrimp fries swimming around the tank, and Rom just don't bother with them. Before we go to step number 4 or advice number 4, did you notice I'm wearing this really cool hoodie? I've designed it myself and the link is in the description box below. Okay, so advice number 4 or step number 4 is, during the first 2 weeks of having or owning your betta, you should always feed him live foods. Live foods like bloodworms and brine shrimps. Always and consistently provide him high quality foods just so he doesn't feel the urge to kill, to hunt, or to chase any of his tank mates. Always keep him satisfied and full, but not bursting full. I'm sure you know what I mean. Small, frequent feeding is the key. Step number 5 or advice number 5 is to click the subscribe button down there. step number 5 or advice number 5 is activity. What? What type of activity? Daddy, chill.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
Let your betta fish flare out his fins maybe 10 to 15 minutes per day. This exercise in turn will help your betta become more vibrant, healthier, and just outright more beautiful. Flaring exercises can actually help prevent those bad fin deformities. And contrary to what others may say, flaring exercises does not stress out your betta fish, as long as you stay within the time limit. Okay, so dogs and their walking and betta fishes and their flaring are kinda like ways or exercises for them to expend all of those pent up energy that they have into something more meaningful. Of course, rather than your betta fish chasing, hunting, and killing all of their smaller tank mates. Okay, so in a way, betta fishes are kinda like dogs and human beings. The more exercise you get, the healthier you are, and in a way, more beautiful. And in a way, I think it actually helped my betta fish to transform into something more vibrant. From yellow, he turned into this darker hue of red, which is really beautiful.
You will give the people of Earth an ideal to strive towards.
Okay, so the 6th advice that I could give is, as much as possible, try and get a young betta fish. The sooner your betta fish gets acclimatized into accepting tank mates, the more success you will have. You can never teach old dogs new tricks. Again, it's kind of like the same thing when it comes to betta fishes. Now I'm starting to realize that dogs and betta fish have something more in common than I used to. Step number 7 or advice number 7 is choosing the right tank mate. You should always try and look for fast swimmers like guppy fries, mosquito rasboras, or chili rasboras, and autosyncluses. Okay, another one. Always make sure that the tank mate that you'll choose are not fin nippers. Because otherwise, those fin nippers can definitely ruin your betta fish beautiful, vibrant, flowing tail. What are the type of fishes that you should avoid because they're fin nippers? Well, on the top of my mind, I can think of tiger barbs, pea puffers, and some specific species of danios. Well, if some danios and tiger barbs are out of the question, what other fish species I should look for? Well, we've got ember tetras, chili rasboras or mosquito rasboras, autosyncluses, and corydoras. What about invertebrates? Well, we have snails. Of course, they will be on the top of the list. What comes second? Well, of course, amano shrimps. They're big, they usually won't fit your betta fish's mouth. And if you followed all of the steps and advice that I gave earlier, you'll even be successful into introducing cherry shrimps with your betta fish. Any other invertebrates with large pincers are a no-go. Why? Well, of course, they can always nip or rip your betta fish's fins and tails. Okay, so when it comes to betta fishes, they're kind of like human beings. They have different temperaments, different personalities. All of the advice that I gave and all of the steps in this video is what helped me or is what helping me train my betta fish into accepting tank mates. If you found this video helpful, leave this video with a thumbs up and subscribe because in this channel, I talk about aquascape, fish keeping, and a bunch of general tips and guides on how to be a better aquarist. So that's it for me. Bye!